Brad Sweet in the house here with us. Fourth fastest in final practice yesterday in his number 32 Great Clips Chevrolet. Well, anytime you're that fast when you put it away or put it in the barn at night, you feel like you're going to come out and be pretty fast today, right?
Yeah. I felt good. I felt good on our race runs, and I felt good when we mocked up and did our qualifying run. So, we were fighting a little bit of tight issue on our race runs, and we made a slight adjustment. So we'll see how it goes today.
Well, we were just talking about, you're kind of making the rounds here to these mile-and-a-half racetracks, and here you come here first time and get a chance to kind of compare it to anywhere else, and there's really no comparing it, is there, to anything else you've raced on?
Yeah, no, I don't think it compares to a lot of the other mile-and-a-halves that I've been on so far. I know some people say it was, relates a little bit to Chicago, and some people say it relates a little bit to Kentucky. But they're all so different to me. There's so many different little things. They're all a mile and a half. That's about the only thing that I noticed is the same.
We were talking about qualifying, which comes up here in just a little while. You think you can go wide open all the way around here without lifting?
Oh, I think some guys say they can. I think it's actually faster to maybe come out and let your front tires take a set and go. Otherwise, I felt like I was kind of driving through my front tires or actually, binding the truck up. So, 1 and 2, it's got a little more bank and you can carry a little more speed. So I think you'll be a lot closer to wide open there. 3 is pretty flat getting in, and I feel like you got to come out a good bit to, get to the line and get the thing to turn. So
it's kind of a weird contrast when you think about it. You think, I could go around this racetrack and flat-footed and actually be slower than a guy that could breathe it just a touch, like you said, set it with the front tires, get back to it faster. I mean, you could actually be a faster lap without being flat out, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. What happens is you drive so hard that you start to get so much wheel into it that you can actually feel the motor binding up. The truck gets so bound up that you're actually pulling the motor down. If you just come out a little bit and let it take a set and turn, then you actually feel like you kept your RPMs higher and you end up going a little bit faster, it seems like.
When you sit back, you're in a good truck today. Turner Motorsports got good equipment, solid pit guys that can get you on and off the pit road, etc. I mean, your background, I know you want to go win the race today, just like the rest of these guys want to go win the race today. But realistically, when you think about what I can accomplish today, good solid top 5 truck, would that be a good day for you today?
Oh, absolutely. We felt good about running 10th at Charlotte last week, and just because the way our season started, I made a lot of rookie mistakes. We struggled as a team a little bit with how we were unloading, a little bit off, and we ended up in some wrecks and stuff, and kind of ended up down the points, and we were a little bit dejected. So to go to Charlotte, qualified in the top 5, ran in the top 10. We were pretty happy with that. Now, we're up in our, standards a little bit, and hopefully we could, run in the top 5 today.
Did you get a chance to race around Raikkonen any last week at all? Was he a weapon, or was he all right out there?
Once he started to grasp the whole concept of how everything worked, he was good. He was actually, you can see that he has a lot of talent. You can see he has a lot of, car control. When I was around him in practice, he was really loose, and he looked like he was driving a dirt track car around there. And he never spun out, and he hung on to it. And then in the race, he was really good on restarts and stuff. And it's just like anything. You go to any series where guys race full time in it. I don't think you're just going to be able to jump in and beat them. It's like when I go race the sprint car, I'm not going to go beat my teammates that do it full time. Like when I come to the truck series, Ron Hornaday and those guys, they've been doing it so long, they know exactly what they're looking for. You're just not going to be able to beat them. So it takes time in anything, but he definitely showed a lot of talent for sure.
What's the biggest thing you took away from last week's race? I mean, like on Tuesday, of this week, you're looking back at last week's race or 2 weeks ago at Charlotte. What was the biggest thing that you are bringing to this game today that you maybe learned from that one?
Well, a lot of it was how we unloaded. We unloaded, and the truck was fast. So it made me feel like, okay, I can compete with these guys. It gave me a little bit of confidence back. Then during the race, just put a whole race together, and ran, close to the front all night. So just build your confidence. It shows you can do it. Our trucks are fast. James Busher, my teammate, he's right there. Ricky Carmichael was fast, and where we lacked that a little bit at other tracks. So I think coming into these mile and a halves, it seems like our package is better. My confidence went up a little bit, and then just learning things. When you start racing towards the front, you start learning a lot more from those type of guys.
Were you a guy in these trucks that went from comfortable, meaning tight, to loose? In other words, have you learned to drive it a little more loose now, and is that why it feels a little bit better now maybe than you first started, or is it the opposite way?
Well, I honestly don't know why we were slow, at tracks like Phoenix and Martinsville and like some of the tracks that you had to slow down more. We've struggled at. Darlington, I ended up getting in a wreck. Just Darlington, I hit the wall. It's just
that's what you do there.
It's what
that's what everybody does
when
there.
I'm trying hard. So, definitely on mile and a half, I've learned a lot more what it takes to be fast. I used to just think you just hold it wide open, and I didn't know what I was trying to feel or what I was looking for, and it's taken a little bit of time to kind of figure it out, to feel where your right rear tire is, to feel if you're binding the truck up, and it takes getting a fast truck, and it takes getting up and racing against, the top 10 guys to be able to see what they're doing, that makes them so much faster than the rest of the field. So you definitely learn when you get up racing, towards the front, more of what it takes to be fast.
What truck have you learned the most from?
Well, every weekend when I show up the track, I always, look for the 18, the 30, the 33. Those three trucks are going to be fast. They're fast every weekend. So the 18, if I can get behind him, I know he's going to run the right line. I know you're probably going to have to run as fast as him if you're going to try to win the race. So, just watching him, I learned a lot. And then, talking to James and Ricky, my teammates, they've at least had 2 years of experience, and been here and done that. So talking to them, they help a lot too.
Is the 18 beatable today? Can somebody beat him?
I think this is one of the first times I've seen him, pretty vulnerable. He wasn't very good in practice, but it's Kyle, and you just never know with him. And it seemed like he was off in first practice, and he definitely got better second practice. And he's one of those guys that you just never count out. I don't care how bad his truck looked in practice. He knows what he's looking for, and he knows how to win races for sure.
Brad Sweet in the house with us this morning. He's getting ready to qualify here in just a little while in the Camping World Truck Series for the 400th. That'd be pretty cool if you could win the 400th race. I mean, you'd always remember the first one you won, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's pretty cool that the Truck Series has come this far, and I remember when it first started, I was like, "What is that?" And then
exactly.
It's come so far, and it's such a great series. It's so competitive right now.
All right, so what's your schedule look like moving forward through the summer?
We're gonna turn the page and run a lot more sprint car stuff. We're running out of races here with Great Clips, and we did the first 8, and we're gonna be trying to do some more down the road. But we're gonna turn the gears and race for Kasey Kahne Racing on the sprint car side.
Where do you guys go next on the dirt?
Actually, tonight I'm gonna race over at Lakeside Speedway.
Did you run last night?
No,
they ran dirt late models last night, right?
No, they ran. Lakeside might have. I don't know.
Lakeside. That's what I was thinking about. Yeah.
Yeah, the Outlaws were over at Belleville, Kansas, and then the sprint cars will be at Lakeside tonight, and then we'll go to Knoxville, Iowa next weekend, and I'll just kind of jump right on in their summer. And
is the Nationals next week? No, that's in the fall.
Yep, there's just a 2-night outlaw race at Knoxville, and then through July there's the Kings Royal and at Eldora Speedway, and then there's a bunch of big races through
August.
Big
checks.
All the big races.
The big checks are coming, right?
All the big races are coming. So I got the best of both worlds. I got to race the Truck Series at the beginning of the year, and I'll get to switch over and go after all the big money in the sprint cars.
Will we see you again this year in trucks or no?
I'm hoping so, but you just never know. Nothing's for sure yet. So
I got you.
Definitely like to be back for a lot more races.
Good deal. Well, it's good to have you here. Good luck out there today. I hope it's a good qualifying for you first thing this morning, and get a good race in this afternoon. Leave this place with a trophy in your hand. That would be awfully cool at the end of the day.
Absolutely. We're sure going to try hard, and all the guys on the Great Clips Chevrolet worked their butts off yesterday, and we got something to work with today, I think.
All right, Brad Sweet in the house.